Wait. Mike? Okay, cool. All right, mic check, 1, 2, everyone. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. It's digital host AJ Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the 4. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories, and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I say it each and every day, wherever you're watching Before the 4 this afternoon, whether it is on YouTube or our 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Friday afternoon here. Now, we're going to turn it over to Jada Russell. A first alert weather day has been issued for tomorrow. Jada, what's new?
So what we're looking at right now, we already have some isolated showers in our forecast, but that's not anything to do with our first alert weather day for tomorrow. We're just getting a slight idea of the pattern of showers that we're going to get. A couple of folks, as you can see right now, still dealing with a few of those isolated storms moving in. They will become a little more on the wider spread side. However, it's mainly east of I-65. We do have a couple of clumps making their way into Hamilton, so a couple of folks may see that going into about 3 to 4 o'clock, even 5 and 6 tonight. We'll see some of those showers passing in, but for the most part, they're short-lived, and we're expecting to have a mostly clear night, just a couple of moments with some quick, heavy downpours of rain, not expecting those to last very long. So let's see if Max wants to catch up with me back in the back. There we go. Alrighty. Taking a quick look outside, we're experiencing our temperatures in a warmer area of the day. We're seeing about some low end 80s as our highs. A couple areas still hanging on to that, but increasing cloud cover as we get into our afternoon hours, turning over into the evening. So here in Huntsville, it's about 79 degrees, as it is in Decatur as well. Some of our cooler areas, about 75 in Muscle Shoals, and that's due to the fact that they are quite overcast in their neck of the woods. So we're expecting to see that kind of push us back into cooler conditions. Now, first alert weather day that I mentioned for Saturday, temperatures are going to push back into the upper 70s and then the low 70s by Sunday. And that's because we have a cold front moving in with a lot of the storms we're experiencing for our Saturday. And namely, we have some wind gusts coming alongside that as well. Usually when we see these wind gusts picking up, they're usually about 20 to 30 miles per hour, which is what we'll see Sunday. But we're in that severe criteria with Saturday's showers and thunderstorms where we're getting about 30 to 40 miles per hour wind gust speeds. So that's a little on the dangerous side. We want to make sure that folks are aware of that. And once you keep that umbrella out for Saturday and Sunday, next couple of days beyond that, we're going to see some showers and even some increasing thunderstorms going into the next work week. So you'll keep that umbrella around for a good portion of the next week. As you can see, most of the state is in that marginal risk, and this is for Saturday. So we're going to see that all throughout your Saturday. If you are planning to travel anywhere else in state, keep that in mind as you go into the weekend. You may want to move some of those plans. Phew, sorry everybody. It's also pollen. Hopefully this weekend we can see that pollen move out the way. But next 12 hours, we'll see those temperatures drop down into the 70s around 7 o'clock, and then getting started on Saturday with temperatures in the 60s. I'll walk you through through the timeline of what to expect for this weekend coming up at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And I'll also be here for Weather Extra at 9:30 tonight.
All right. Thank you, Jada. Great to know, as always. And yep, you just heard Jada say it. 48 first alert weather extra tonight at 9:30. You can watch that wherever you're watching Before the 4 right now. So that's YouTube. That's the 48 Now live stream on our news app, as well as WAFF.com. So you're just not going to want to miss it. Jada will go through the radar. If you have any questions, you can ask them on YouTube, and Jada will shout you out. So 48 first alert weather extra tonight at 9:30. Now, just into our newsroom, Huntsville police have now arrested a man who they were searching for in a manhunt earlier today. Now, this man is 20-year-old Khalil Barney. He was arrested just after 2 o'clock this afternoon on Century Street. Now, Huntsville police say he was arrested without incident. Now, this is the man charged in connection to the shooting death of an Alabama A&M student earlier this week. Huntsville police held a media briefing this morning after they received reports of the suspect being in the area of Jordan Road and Shields Road. HPD says the suspect they were looking for earlier was that 20-year-old Ahmaud Barney. That there was a warrant out for his arrest in connection with this shooting. When officers attempted to locate him, he ran into a wooded area. He's described as a 6-foot-tall man. He was seen wearing an all-black hoodie as well as slides, and he has now been arrested. He's being held in the Madison County Jail. Now, of course, Callie Neese, as well as Nick Ballinger, they've been working today to find more updates on this situation. They'll have all the latest coming up in our evening newscasts. But now, turning over to a story in case you missed it. There's a teacher shortage across the state. But a new law here in Alabama is trying to turn that narrative around. Governor Ivey recently signed into law Senate Bill 149, which creates a new pathway for military veterans to serve Alabama students in the classroom. Noah Cowell reports on this new law.
An educator shortage continues to plague the nation and Alabama specifically. The state is 3,400 teachers short in the classroom. Now that's positions that are either vacant or are filled by someone who isn't completely qualified. We're also trending in the wrong direction, but this new law looks to counteract that.
There's a teacher shortage nationwide. I think Alabama is doing a great job in trying to narrow that gap and pull veterans into that workforce.
Senate Bill 149 provides teaching certificates to veterans who have 48 hours of service and an honorable discharge, as well as 60 hours of college credit. Now, they also have to be recommended by a local superintendent and pass a teaching exam. Governor Kay Ivey says this gives our heroes an opportunity to answer a new call, allowing children to learn from their leadership and experience. Jim King, with Still Serving Veterans, says the Troops to Teachers program has been underfunded, and this is a huge opportunity for all who have served our country.
This is a better program, and 60 credit hours, that's relatively quick to get. A lot of service members come out of the military with close to or over 60 hours. Veterans bring an element of leadership. Veterans spend a lot of time not only being trained, but also training others. I think this is a great opportunity for veterans.
And with that, we're going to head to break, but coming up, taking a look at the new Madison County Commission Chairman hitting the ground running on his first day in office, and taking a look at some of the coolest finds last year at Unclaimed Baggage in Scottsboro. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, the new Madison County Commission Chairman, Rex Vaughn, began his new role yesterday. Our own Liz Hurley checked on him yesterday, and let's take a look what he's planning for the county.
Rex Vaughn is a farmer turned businessman who's resigning as chairman of the Alabama Cannabis Commission to now lead Madison County.
I fully understood and had to learn fast how a government agency has to operate. Being completely transparent, you can't do anything behind the scenes.
He says that statewide experience and exposure and his many connections make him well positioned for his new role, and he is ready. First up, roads.
We've got to make sure that our arteries that are feeding Huntsville and Redstone Arsenal are a high priority for making sure that our workers, our commuters that are coming from about 17 counties across North Alabama and from Tennessee can get here to work and work these good jobs. We don't want them sitting in traffic for hours.
Second priority, county growth with no zoning restrictions.
I think that the way we build subdivisions, the way we provide home builders the direction of how they're going to put in a subdivision, we have to monitor that and monitor it carefully.
Next, the daunting task of building a new courthouse.
You've just got a lot of things to consider when you're talking about taking down a courthouse or a building of this size and putting up a new one and then relocating everybody in the meantime. So those are going to be hard decisions to make, but I trust that we'll get there.
Vaughn's family has been in Madison County for 6 generations. His 3 times great-grandfather signed Alabama's 1819 Constitution, so he's invested in what happens here and looking forward to getting started.
And now let's take a look at some of the coolest finds at Unclaimed Baggage last year. From diamond-studded gold grills to samurai swords and even a meteorite. Margot Gray reports.
Unzip a piece of unclaimed baggage and get past what most of us pack. T-shirts, chargers, and shoes. It's about finding the really good stuff, the bizarre, the strange, and the what is that at Unclaimed Baggage in Scottsboro. In the top 10 finds of 2025, you'll find one bag had a robot inside. How about a meteorite, samurai swords, or 10-karat gold diamond-studded grills? Each bag uncovers a mix of the fascinating and the valuable, like these luxurious gold-plated golf clubs, or the peculiar, like a frog purse, and the surprising, like a pre-World War I U.S. Army bayonet. You can rock out to Elvis on cassette, or cherish a 1960s Ken doll in the original carrying case. The most valuable find in a piece of luggage? A pair of diamond earrings estimated to cost more than $43,000. At Unclaimed Baggage, every suitcase tells a story. Some maybe you never wanted to share.
All right, now let's go into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. Details on a big phishing scam costing the city of Arab $32,000. The latest on the dirty water in Limestone County. And finally, details on a house fire in Lacey Spring. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And it is that time, y'all. Still struggling with our chat box that we usually have for our Facebook question of the day. But look at this. It is the month of March. I'm not sure if we can... Yeah, it's not working for me today. But our question on Facebook, what is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you? And we asked this about an hour ago. The month of March, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, of course. Got to start looking for those 4-leaf clovers out in the clover field. But our question, of course, what's the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you? And let's see what you all had to say. It looks like Bobby Elliott said, meeting my beautiful wife. A very sweet comment there from Bobby Elliott. Bobby, that is awesome. Thank you so much for commenting today. Let's see what else you wanted to say. Gavin Hirschbein said he won a lawnmower when he was 10 years old. That is pretty lucky right there. Did you cut grass at that age, Gavin? You won a lawnmower. That is awesome. I mean, lawnmowers are expensive, no doubt about it, especially those riding mowers, the zero-turn mowers. So, I mean, that is pretty lucky right there at 10 years old. Cara, she said she won a treasure chest on the Bozo the Clown show around the 1960s. That is really awesome. Looks like Amanda Foster said, my wife. Amanda and Leslie Foster said, my wife. Awesome stuff. Missy Terry said, escaped a tornado a few times. Absolutely. That is some lucky stuff right there. And let's see, do we have one more really good comment to share? It looks like Eriquanon won $500 on a scratcher right when I needed to replace an appliance. Had the person working there choose the ticket. Awesome stuff as always, y'all, on our 48 Facebook question of the day. It always makes my day seeing y'all's comments, seeing what you all have to say to our question. But y'all, that is just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. Thank you so much for sticking around, spending a bit of your Friday afternoon here. I hope you all have a great night tonight. Enjoy our evening newscasts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.